Hello, Little Falls. It's just Jeffrey joining you for the latest episode of Historic New Jersey. And today we are back at the Cathedral Basilica of the Sacred Heart in Newark, New Jersey for this very special Historic New Jersey. Today we're being joined once again by Father Armand. Father, thank you so much for having us back here in this beautiful space.
It is truly a pleasure and an honor to have you back. I'm glad you decided to come back again.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that everybody watching was looking forward to this as well. So we're going to see some very special things today. We're going to an area that many people don't get to see.
Not while they're alive.
Not while they're alive. So this is a treat, and we're about to experience a wonderful demonstration on the church's organ.
Church's organ. Unfortunately, our last visit we were not able to do this, but today we are, and along with the windows, which are the crown jewels, the organ is right up there as something people have to experience in this building.
Many people ask, what's the difference between playing the piano and playing the organ? A very oversimplified answer to that is, with the piano, the right hand usually does the high stuff and the left hand usually does the low stuff. In the organ, the right hand does the high stuff, the left hand does the middle stuff, and the feet do the low stuff.
There's a lot going on down there.
There's an awful lot going down here. Yeah, we have 32 pedals to manage, plus we have these things here, which are called toe studs.
Oh, wow.
These are duplicates of presets which are found right here below the manuals. It's similar to your car radio. You know, you set up in advance what you want on 1, 2, and 3. This is a marvelous instrument. First of all, it is the largest church organ in the state of New Jersey. It has a total of 9,513 pipes. And in keeping with the French Gothic architecture of the cathedral, the organ is designed similar to the great cathedrals of France, where there's an organ in the back and an organ in the front. And so in our case, same thing here. About 2/3 of the pipework is in the rear gallery, and the remaining third is in the chancel area where we are now. It's interesting, back in the time in the great cathedrals of France, they hired 2 organists to take care of the organ music for the services. One was the titular organist that only played the organ in the back, and the other one was the choir organist that only played the organ in the front. But through modern technological advances, we are able to play both organs from this console right here, which is very cool. It saves a lot of running and walking. Johann Sebastian Bach. He lived and flourished in Germany from 1685 to 1750, born in Eisenach and died in Leipzig. And he just wrote so much for the organ and for all of the instruments. And this is his Jig Fugue in G major.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, John Miller. John, thank you so much. That was an absolutely beautiful piece, and it was absolutely amazing to hear in this space.
Oh, my pleasure. It's a joy to play the instrument, and I'm always so happy to talk about it. And I hope that the viewers enjoy the organ, and I encourage you, if you're interested, please come to the cathedral to hear it in person. And our website is newarkbasilica.org, and there it lists our concert series of all of our events, which are free to the public. And many of those events you will hear the organ featured.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We really appreciate you coming.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
So now we find ourselves in an area of the cathedral that not many people get to see.
Exactly.
We are in the crypt.
Yes, we are. Most of the deceased archbishops of Newark are here. We don't have the first or the second. The founding bishop, Bishop Bailey, the name sounds familiar. It's because his aunt was Elizabeth Bailey Seton. His aunt was Mother Seton. He decided he wanted to be buried in Maryland next to her. So he's in Maryland. The second bishop of Newark, Bishop Michael Augustine Corrigan, got kicked upstairs from us. He was made Archbishop of New York.
Oh, wow.
And so his eternal address is Fifth Avenue. Not bad.
No.
Okay? But since after him, all the rest are here.
So when an archbishop passes, there is a funeral service down here, because I see that we have a chapel down here, or would that be held upstairs in the
Oh,
cathedral?
no. For the death of the Archbishop, the Mass is held in the cathedral, and then the regular graveside service that any Catholic would get at the cemetery takes place here after the funeral Mass. Very often in and around November the 2nd, All Souls Day, for a day or so, the crypt may be open for public viewing, because that's the appropriate time of year when we pray for all the deceased. And so once a year, most of the time, it's open to the public for a day. But other than that, out of respect for the bishops, I don't think you'd want tourists around your grave. This gentleman here, Wynan Michael Wigger, the third bishop of Newark, he's very important to the history of this building. He was the man who decided that the name of the new cathedral would be Sacred Heart. Now, unfortunately, you notice it says January 5th, 1901. Bishop Wigger died before this crypt was even completed. And so I'm rather almost ashamed to say that we actually lost him for many, many decades. They forgot where they buried him.
Where was he?
One of the local cemeteries. And one day, one of our priests was walking through the cemetery and saw that headstone, Bishop Wigger, and said, Eureka, we found him. And so he was exhumed from the cemetery and brought here to the cathedral, reburied with full archbishop honors, with a mass upstairs, full honors, and then brought here to the crypt where he always should have been. I had said earlier that the crown jewels of the building were the windows. And certainly of them, the rose windows are by far the best. But after the rose windows, this one is considered by many to be superb. It is the window showing the wedding feast at Cana, Jesus' first miracle where he turned water into wine. If we take a look at this window, you see some splendid, splendid things happening. First in the center, obviously, is Jesus, with his hand raised in blessing. Over his left shoulder, you have the bride and the groom watching what's going on. Over here on the left side, you see a man with a big walrus mustache. We don't know who he is. Maybe it's the bride's father. Maybe it's the caterer who messed up the wine order. We just don't know. On the right side of the window is the Blessed Mother. You'll notice that while everybody in the window is watching what's going on, Mary has her gaze fixed intently upon her son. In the foreground, you have the waiter pouring the jug. At the mouth of the container is a piece of clear glass, water. That flow is getting redder as it goes down, wine. So you're watching water being turned into wine. You're present for the miracle. It's wonderful, it's fabulous. And while all of that is going on in the foreground, There's the dog stealing dinner off the table. Miracles or not, life goes on. The dog has to eat.
We hope everybody enjoyed this very special episode of Historic New Jersey. Again, I want to thank Father Armand for his time and his knowledge and for welcoming us back here for a second time. Little Falls Public Library thanks you, Father.
Always a pleasure and an honor to have you here. And as much as we've done in these 2 episodes, there's still twice as much to see and to learn about this building. So come back again.
I have a feeling we will be back, Father.
Wonderful.
Have a wonderful day, Little Falls.